What's going on, guys? It's Greg here. Just wanted to do another overlooked prep video, and in today's video I'm going to talk about face paint or camouflage paint. So this is just some Hunter Specialties Camo Compact Camouflage Makeup Kit. I got this, I don't know, for like $5. You can get these anywhere. You can get them at Walmart. You know, your local hunting store will usually have it. You know, your local gun shop. And I keep this in my bug out bag and in my get home bag. Um, in my survival kit, I always keep this. It's very lightweight. It doesn't weigh anything. You know, it probably weighs, I don't know, it's like a piece of paper. I mean, it doesn't have any weight at all. And this little amount of face paint will last you a long time. I actually still have my face paint kit that I bought when I was 16 years old, when I first started bow hunting. So that was 18 years ago. I actually still have it, and I haven't used it in a while, but it's in my bug out bag actually, and there's still a lot of face paint left inside, because you really don't use that much. You know, you just put a little bit on your finger and you rub it, you know, on your face in different areas. Um, so just one of these face paint kits will last you a while, and I definitely think that you should put one of these in your survival kit, in your bug out bag, in your get home bag, in your emergency go bag, whatever you want to call it. You should always keep some of this on hand. And there's a variety of reasons. If we're talking about self-defense, you know, you may be in a situation where you have to camouflage yourself, you know, for whatever reason. You may be being pursued by somebody. Let's say if it's an SHTF situation and you have to walk home on foot from your job, or you have to get from point A to point B after SHTF. You know, you're going to want to camouflage your face a little bit. You're going to want to put some type of a camouflage, you know, on your exposed areas of your skin, especially your face and your neck, because especially me, like, I'm white skinned. So if I'm walking through like a wooded area and I have, you know, dark clothing on or earthy colors like a coyote brown or olive drab, you know, you're still going to see my, you know, my pale white skin stick out, you know, from like 100 yards away. So, or even further. So the face paint will help to, you know, camouflage your exposed skin after SHTF or any kind of self-defense, even a self-defense situation. Let's say if you're, let's say you break down somewhere, or you get stuck in a bad neighborhood and there's a group of bad guys that may be trying to pursue you. They may be trying to kidnap you. If you're a female and you're a woman, you know, there may be some crazy guy, you know, following you, and you have to run away from him. Let's say, you know, whatever, you have to escape and run away. You know, you may want to consider putting some face paint on yourself. This way it's harder for that person who's following you to see you. Um, you know, and especially for SHTF, it's a very useful thing to have face paint. You know, if you're dealing with possible bad guys and you're patrolling your property, you know, I think camouflage is an area that a lot of preppers neglect. You know, camouflage is really critical. If you're doing any kind of security patrols on your property, and you're patrolling your perimeter around your bug out location or your home, you need to have good camouflage. You know, because if somebody's potentially waiting for you, or they may try to ambush you. If they know that you do security patrols around your property, they could be waiting for you to come by. And if you're not camouflaged, you're going to stick out like a sore thumb, and they're going to be able to open fire on you from a long distance away, and they're going to have an advantage over you. You know, versus if you're camouflaged and you're doing security, you know, it's going to be a lot harder for any potential bad guy out there to, you know, figure out your position. Whether it's a static position or you're moving around. If, let's say, you're patrolling an area and you're walking on foot, or if you're in a static position where you're overwatching an area, for a certain period of time. Let's say you're doing security, and you have an area that you're overwatching with your neighbors or your other family members or friends, and you guys, have set up an overwatch area with overlapping fields of fire, and you guys are set in certain static positions. The face paint is going to be really essential to make sure that you don't get compromised. You don't give away your position, because it's possible that somebody may be able to see the reflection of your skin, and the bright color, especially if you're white skinned like me. Because I have Polish DNA, so Polish people and Northern Europeans, we're all very pale, skin. So, we gotta make up for it with some camouflage, So definitely include this in your preps, and learn how to apply it properly as well. And like I said, a lot of these come with mirrors too. Like this has a mirror, so when I'm applying it, I can look and see, which areas I missed or whatever. It's pretty much like a woman's makeup kit. It's pretty much the same thing. And this mirror has some old functionality as well. You can use this for signaling. If you're in a survival situation, and let's say you need to signal a rescue plane or a boat or whatever, or somebody who's walking by, or a vehicle, you can use the reflection of the sun. Here I just have the light here, and I'm shining it right on the camera. I don't know if you guys can see that. Trying to reflect the light at you guys, but you can see that bright light. That can save your life if you're in a survival situation. You can use the sun to reflect, off of the mirror, and this can act as a signal mirror, inside it. And this is a multifunctional piece of kit. You have your makeup here, your camo makeup, and then you also have your mirror, which you can signal with. And then, also, I can also use this to locate ticks. If I have ticks on my body, or I need to look, somewhere behind my legs, like I can use this to check for ticks. If I have ticks, so I have to check the back of my legs or my butt or my back or something. I can use this mirror. I can look, I can use it as a mirror. I can see the back of my leg with it, see if there's any ticks or any leeches or anything like that. So it's a multifunctional piece of gear, just this little $5 piece of camo makeup here has, huge, survival uses and SHTF uses, and like I said, in your bug out bag or your get home bag, this is essential. If you have to walk home from work and you need to escape after an SHTF, and it's a get home situation where you have to go from point A to point B. Let's say you're at your job and there's a massive terrorist attack, and you work in a city and you live outside of the city, and you have to cross through multiple different types of terrain, and you may encounter some bad people along your way. You may encounter gangbangers, you may encounter hungry people that are going to try to steal from you. You may encounter all kinds of bad people, so you want to camouflage yourself and cover your face up so you don't give away your position. And like I said, make sure you learn how to use it, how to apply face paint properly. There's certain guidelines for applying face paint. I'm not going to get too much into it, but essentially what you want to do is the darker colors, like the black and the brown, you want to put that on parts of your face that are going to reflect light. So your forehead, typically like your forehead, I got to brush my hair aside, but typically your forehead here, as you can see, if the light here is reflecting off of my forehead and my nose, I want to cover that up with darker colors, the black and the brown. Usually what I do is I mix the black and the brown together, and I put it over my forehead here, because the forehead is very flat and it reflects light, so if there's sun or some type of a light source, it's going to reflect, it's going to stand out. You know, so anything that's going to be standing off of your face, you want to cover that with darker colors. You know, your nose, you want to cover your nose with blacks and browns, and same thing, your forehead with darker colors. And then other parts of your face, like your cheeks, your neck, you know, areas that are going to catch shadows, you're going to want to put the lighter colors, like the greens, you know, your olive green. You can put that on your cheeks here, and on your neck, you know, areas that are going to catch shadows. So just remember that simple rule of thumb. You know, you can read more into it, but that's typically the basic, you know, rule of thumb is, you know, your forehead and your nose and maybe your cheekbones. You know, it's like your cheekbones have a tendency of catching light and reflecting light, you know, so not under your eyes, but your cheekbones. Anything that sticks out from your head. So your cheekbones, your nose, and your forehead, any area that like that's going to reflect light, you put the darker colors on, the blacks, the browns. And then other areas like other parts of your face, like, you know, here, I have a beard, so it doesn't count, but other parts of your, you know, your neck, you can put lighter colors on your neck, like the greens. Same thing, tip of your chin. I usually like to go darker on the tip of my chin because, you know, your chin is a very prominent feature and you can see it from a long distance away. So I like to use darker colors around my chin area, usually blacks and browns around my chin, and then fade it out into greens around the sides here. You know, on the sides of my cheeks here, and then my actual cheekbone. I like to use darker colors. Same thing with my nose and forehead. So that's just how I personally use it. But so check out, you know, some camo face paint, camo compact. It doesn't have to be this brand. It could be any brand, but definitely recommend getting some camo face paint. It's an overlooked prep, and you should definitely have it in your survival kit, because it has multiple uses. You can use it for camouflaging if you're in a self-defense situation, an SHTF, or if you have to hunt. You can use the mirror. Like I said, you could use the mirror for signaling. You know, if you have to signal somebody else or signal rescue. And then you could also use the mirror to check for ticks. If there's any ticks on the back of your legs, or areas that you can't see, or leeches or something like that. So that's pretty much it, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Remember the 3 P's: prepare, practice, and persevere. All right, guys. God bless.